It feels like Friday to me this week.
Oh, shit.
Yesterday I kept thinking it was Thursday.
Oh.
It's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, right? No.
But not daylight savings this weekend at least. So
No.
one less
Yeah,
hurdle.
it's fine. I'm fine.
All good.
It's all.
How is everybody today? May will be joining us in just a little bit. We can see everybody. We have it set for chat. We did get a
comment away today. You can see them all.
yes, which is wonderful. My little technical error again this morning, but my next project is to get the sound better so that it's not echoey. So we're gonna like shake 70s carpet out this whole area.
I got home yesterday and my house is a really old house and it's all super updated except for going into the basement. So the walls are like this ugly pea green yellow carpet and Tilly climbs the walls because they're
Fair.
perfect. Yes. It's so funny seeing her up the wall just hanging sideways.
Yeah,
I guess that carpet gets to stay for you.
she had zoomies this morning. She was just crazy. Weird to watch us in a delay.
I know.
Are we live?
We're live.
Good morning, everybody.
Perfect.
Just having a little with
Weird tech day. Anybody else having some funky stuff going on?
lights and computers and my watch.
The power strip, you had to turn it on twice. That's why there's.
Yeah, I had to do it once too because I thought I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought May was making coffee.
I was.
I like pulled it. I'm
Oh,
like, oh,
that's
it
why.
was going.
Yeah.
So I turned it back on and started.
So then I had to do
it
it again. And just right now, funky.
Yeah, it's an electricity weird day.
I know, and I looked even to see like there's something extra plugged into the power strip.
Nothing different.
No.
Or like
No?
if one of the
Nothing else?
cats going and like touch it. No, it's
Gotcha.
sleepy.
No way.
Oh,
So if you notice, there's an actual haze in the clinic today.
Smudged hard.
So we have both cameras up here, so if you just look that direction.
Oh, hi everyone.
Yeah, I know. We don't have to be going back and forth at least. But a reminder that we are switching over to YouTube solely next week. It's coming.
November.
Wow. Yeah, November 1st is next week, Monday. So this is the last week you guys have to get your entries for the $100 gas gift card giveaway.
And subscribe so you get 2 extra entries.
Yeah. Share it with your family, everybody. There's no limits. So if you guys share it with whoever, we don't have to know them to give them the prize.
Right.
If they win, they win. We can mail it anywhere within the U.S., without the U.S., anywhere.
There's a lot of gas.
Yeah.
Gas is great.
Pumpkins can give you gas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Are we doing card first today?
Yeah, let's just.
Yeah, maybe let's
set the
just-
tone.
Let's see what's going on and just.
Universe, what are you up to? Right. Anybody else having that kind of a weird electricity day?
This was the full moon, the last one.
You guys all just saw me shuffle how many times?
Always. You should do one too. Pull one of those also.
One of these guys, yeah, we might have to pull one of each because we just had this card not too long ago. Pretty bright. Really, all you need to see is the moon anyways. Super cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh, that's good. Not good it is. A fiery climax approaches. Does that sound familiar? Because we pulled this card like 2 weeks ago. It's a full deck, you guys. It's full moon in Aries, yeah. It's a full deck of cards. So what are the chances you pull the Ace of Hearts twice after you shuffle? Pretty few. So when you get the same
Odds are
card,
different with it. Yeah.
yeah, it means something. So I don't know if the same kind of. We didn't pick up on something.
Yeah, we were listening the first time around. This is a guys.
Yeah, that's how this works, you guys.
Truly is.
Full moon in Aries. I think I did too. There we go. Alrighty.
Listening this time.
Ears on. It's time to see if you've been a little bit too much me. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants, but you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too fast, or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level you've created this situation yourself, which means you can create your way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. To attune to the moon, be nice, be kind, smile, and be polite as you navigate to where you want to be. Additional meanings: being assertive is good, just don't ride roughshod over anyone. If you're in a tense situation, meditate your way to peace. Don't be a baby. Sorry, but this could be the issue. And you need to have more fun. And then a small little lesson for this card. It says that the full moon in Aries is a super fiery time when emotions can run very high. On the upside, there's excitement about what may lie ahead, but tempers are likely to flare with rash comments or decisions. No matter when you pull this card, it signals that the situation has just or is about to come to a peak, perhaps in a rather heated way. There could be a price to pay if you've been too competitive or too blunt.
That's funny because that was the last full moon, and you have no idea how many people I had tell me, like, was this like some kind of special full moon? It was like super
They felt it.
intense and emotional.
And it
like,
was.
really more than normal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
I had the card.
I was just going to say, I had this in one of my decks. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's just a little charm.
I put charms on rocks and crystals in all my decks.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
you got to charge them. You got to cleanse them so that you get, no residual.
Really good, accurate readings.
Yeah.
I pulled.
But these are on our Etsy, if you guys didn't
Yes.
know. RHC Apothecary, handmade, super cool. And they all have pretty specific properties. If you don't know much about the magical properties or the uses of magical bells or charms, do a quick Google because it's pretty immense. So check it out.
Yeah, I just love that noise. Just kind of resets and
Yeah, it kind of
clears everything.
Clear
Yes.
is a good word for
Or
it.
I think it makes everything clears, but it also makes that tinkling noise is a higher vibration, and I think it brings everything into vibration with it. So
Yeah, like almost a
what doesn't
charge.
serve goes, oh, is an important one.
Oh, I'm free.
I don't guess.
Except for side. Another one. I think it's this one, really. Ooh, okay. Haven't pulled this card from this deck yet. I like that. You guys want to see?
Yeah.
Super
Always
neat.
needed. Wow, look at the power hands.
Power hand. Let's see if we can get you guys. If it'll focus. There we go. Look at that image. All the hands reaching, and she's putting her arms out as the
But
divine being she
solid,
is, but
yeah.
super solid, super strong.
Love
Closer
the
to some
vibration on the
hands.
bottom, like her feet are grounded and
Yeah. Feet are grounded.
Got the energy centered at the bottom.
Yeah, way up top, the crown chakra.
I don't know, did you say anything about the patient would have been a voicemail or a?
No, I still need
You
to
can't
show it to
mention
me.
who it is, but yes.
This is the sweetest voicemail from a patient who had come in on Monday, and it just was like, I got home and I was making dinner tonight and had this just strange feeling overcome me, and I was like, where is this going? And then he goes, sense of well-being, and just like thank the staff here and how wonderful we all are, and just super, super appreciative. It was really cool to read.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
nice.
get that posted on Facebook, just RHC patient. We can have that on there. But
Just a cool shout out, yeah.
we hear it so often, and I'm a shout out to all of us. It's hard to say it about yourself, but when patients just walk in the door, there is a different vibration and mood, and people ask about, we have this particular patient that said, how do I get my home to smell like this hippie place? And they love it. That's a full part of healthcare that we can offer.
Super compliment.
Yes, like, biggest compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to your point, some of that is the essential oils or some of the incense or some of the sage, other tools that we use to actually physically make a scent. But there is something to do with, when we get together and like the meld of our energies.
Yes.
And
We get bouncing off each other and feeding each other, and I think patients kind of get like in between our vibes and soak it up.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think it's also a lack of perfume or a lack of artificial smells. There's just none of that in here. So we only use all natural scents in here. And so there's no aversion to it most of the time, or there's no reaction to it, really, I think makes a big difference.
Yeah. Have you guys ever walked into a room and you smell somebody's very strong perfume or cologne?
Or those candles or the plugins?
Or the plugins are the worst, like physical reaction for me in particular. Yep. Like I literally can't even open my eyes, like my brain hurts type of reaction.
Yep, like that. Like, it hurts.
Yeah, but like I can't even open my eyes, everything's itchy, my nose is running, start coughing. But not only,
morning, Terry.
Hey, Terry. Not only like the physical reaction, but the mental focus in a room that scent takes up in that space.
Yes.
You can only focus on that, at least the type of person I am. I can only focus on that. That person is, taking up more space than maybe they intended to with doing something that they didn't know, right. Other people have different thoughts about. So you can never really blame someone or shame someone for doing something that they're doing to take care of themselves and make themselves feel good. But the more you know, the more you can be considerate to others.
Right. So share. Well, kind of along that same vein, when my girls were little, we used to go out to eat and order things. And they knew how to eat well since little kids. And so they would go through and say, no cheese, no croutons, no. And it used to be that the waitstaff would be really confused and really, so you just want lettuce and vinegar. Yep. Pretty much, yes. Yep. Or you just want the chicken breast. And it was a process when they were little. And so them being little was 20 years ago. Now, and I'm hoping because of doing that and not being shy about it, and that's how we eat, and it's healthy, and then it prompts questions. Now there's many times if you go, I don't want croutons on the salad, they'll say, oh, so you don't want the side of bread either. Well, people already know, and so share your knowledge of what health is.
Yeah, because everybody's version of health is different.
Right.
Their modalities, their way to get to wherever they're trying to go, and their journey, path, route. It's super different, and there's a place for almost all different types of medicine and technology and things like that. But
yeah,
the more you know,
the more you know, the better you can do.
Yeah.
Hey, Maddie. YouTube is being weird. Facebook video quality is way better. Hey.
Okay, good to know. Thank you for the feedback.
It could be our camera. We can see us up on live on YouTube, but we'll go back afterwards and just check. But yeah, we always want to know. Thank you. Thank you on technical, audio, visual, all of those things. We're newbies, so help us out. And we're getting there. We're totally getting there.
Right. Shall we go for the card?
Roll that. We decided what it meant.
Yeah, right. You guys saw it. It was the boundaries, kind of see from long distance here. The question is where do you need to establish better boundaries? And the message is that you are being called to create clearer boundaries in your life. This could be with your friends, family, or work. Saying yes when you really mean no leads to resentment, which is the biggest energy drain ever.
On both people.
On both people.
Yeah.
And resentment really just results from lack of communication for the most part.
Always, right?
Always. When you have boundaries and you communicate them,
both people benefit.
Said something sooner.
Yeah,
It's
usually
always the response.
Yeah.
And I think people get confused when they, what does it mean to set a boundary? And I think it's easier also to feel when a boundary's been crossed, or feel, good about a situation when a boundary wasn't crossed. And so having boundaries is one thing, but being able to speak up or acknowledge and communicate when a boundary has been crossed or when you feel a boundary has been crossed, that's really the key.
Start with awareness. You know, maybe you don't have words right away, but acknowledge that feeling and assess it and just walk through that feeling. And another piece of advice is have a backup plan.
Yeah.
You're always going to be put in those situations where our instinct is not to offend. Most people's instinct is not to offend, but have some words that you can immediately, and as soon as you sense, you have to be attuned to sensing when boundaries are being crossed, because energy vampires will trick you into that. But if you can tune your sense in so you immediately sense a boundary is being crossed, and then have something memorized, kind of
Muscle memory type of
right,
response.
yeah, that you can say, usually putting off thank you. Always gratitude, because then both people feel good about it, but don't give an immediate think about that. Thank you. I will give that some thought. Then let me get back to you. And then you can put yourself in a place where your reaction or what your response is, and it should be a response rather than reaction, is more attuned to, instead of a reaction, it's more attuned to what you really want to happen. Or another really good one, because it's usually time people want of you. You know, they want more of us a lot of times too, is to set aside some time. It's not necessarily that you don't want to spend time with that person or at that activity. It's that you have so many other things going on and you have to fit that in.
Opportunity cost.
It is. And so if you just say, I have an hour dedicated a week, let me take a look at my schedule and see if it's filled this week. You know, we will, and then you can put it in so that you're not getting up, going all day long, and then, you know, at night having
Still
to
getting stuff dry.
Exactly.
You never know.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think being able to just have your own time, and so set those, don't feel bad or guilty about, you know, so if you have 4 hours a day set aside just to you, you know, it's like, well, yes, you have extra time you could give to somebody. No, I am.
It's
not
time
filled.
Yeah. Assign your time.
Dedicate self-care time. It's huge, and that is quality time. Otherwise, you can't provide quality time the rest of the time.
Right. Yeah.
Which is part of why we are done seeing patients at 3. We are full on the time that we are here for you, and so at 3 o'clock, we are done seeing patients, done answering phones. We actually have an app, so you have contact with us where you can be scheduling your own appointments, you can be paying your bill online, you can be doing all of your journaling online with the Healthy app. If you don't have that, let us know, message us, for sure talk to us about that. But then we dedicate the next 2 hours of us getting the day complete so that we get to go home and we have our time, which is huge. So thank you for respecting that, everybody.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Partially, okay. At first, it might only be a little bit and not feel like a big deal, but before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you're left feeling depleted, resentful, or taken advantage of.
Yeah, leaky.
Yeah.
Like leaky gut.
Like, yeah. I know. Saying no and having clear boundaries is actually a spiritual act. The most giving, loving, compassionate people are those with the clearest boundaries. For when they do say yes, they're able to give unconditionally. When your boundaries are clear, others know where they stand, and you are able to give freely. If you are not clear where your boundaries lie, this causes confusion, resentment, and energetic cords to be planted. If you're saying yes when you really mean no, you are likely needing something yourself. Ask yourself, what part of me needs something from this other? It could be a need for approval, a fear of being seen a certain way, or a fear of loss. The best way to gauge your boundaries is to check in with your belly. Your belly is the second brain. It has an intelligence to know.
Leaky gut.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah. It has an intelligence your gut feelings. Tune into this space when deciding that when deciding what is okay for you. How does it feel? What is it trying to communicate with you? Totally leaking that. But yeah, that's what I was talking about, is that feeling. You can feel when your boundaries have been crossed, and it's not always obvious why. So it does take some reflection. If you walk away from an interaction feeling weird, feeling off, do take some time in your mental to dissect that and figure out, when did this turn and when did, I get that feeling? Was there a specific, a word said? Was there a specific thing mentioned? What was that trigger to set that what was the boundary crossed, really? And then think of ways how you can establish that boundary for the next time. Boundaries, this is a really hard skill to learn. It's one of those that you continuously have to work on. But do practice, do start, do become aware, and then once you know, you can be a little bit more considerate, as with everything.
It's a learning process.
Yeah.
Terry, we'll post that card within the comments, as we'll take a picture of it and put it in the comments so that you can see that. Again, everybody.
You can do the comments with the picture.
Oh, no? Well, we can just post it on.
We'll post it on.
We'll post it on our Facebook page, on our RHC Facebook page, but we're mainly utilizing the YouTube camera is why, so. Oh, my card I pulled this morning, I pulled two. What you want wants you.
Ooh.
I know, that was fantastic. I'm like, boy, I need to read this. And the other one was breathe, and it went into this full, so many in-depth portions. I think I took a picture so that we can look at that later, maybe reread that. But what breathing does, part of the reason I'm saying this is because it was when you react to something, when your boundaries get triggered, you stop breathing most of the time, or you breathe more shallow.
Okay.
Shuts your brain down. You go into fight and flight mode, changes your adrenal response. So a couple of things. One, do polyvagal reset. If you got your boundaries stepped on, or you're like, I just in my gut, this doesn't feel right, and I can't shake it, because sometimes that happens. Like I recognize that I'm missing something, but I still have that feeling.
Yeah.
Polyvagal reset. We did that last Friday. Go back onto the YouTube channel. There's instructions on our Friday live that resets your diaphragm, but resets the vagus nerve so that you can kind of shed that and think more clear. But same thing, you can do the opposite. Start at the bottom and work your way up instead of top down. Just take a deep breath in. Yeah, whenever you are shallow breathing or you stop breathing, that is a boundary trigger. You have to recognize that something happened. Your body went into fight or flight. And so just stop, some deep breaths, no matter what it is, what it was, and train yourself to be able to continue to do that. But you have to notice it. You have to be aware.
Yeah.
And then it's such an easy reset. Just to take a breath in.
Yeah.
But it does. And when you breathe in here, it smells so fantastic in here today.
It does.
Yeah. So we're getting kind of long in our life, but I think we're doing some awesome stuff. One way, and this is probably not the best example, but one that I think people would be able to relate to, is the feeling of, I don't know what the feeling is, but after you pass like a cop and you were speeding. No, or maybe you weren't. But that feeling of, I passed whatever, I'm not gonna get pulled over, but 5-10 minutes later, you're still like, oh my gosh.
Yep,
that sort of feeling.
Yep.
Yeah. Polyvagal reset gets rid of that. When you know mentally the fear, the trigger is not present,
in danger,
but your body hasn't been able to realize, or your body hasn't moved into that relax, rest, digest.
Parasympathetic, yeah.
That one is good. Like trying to match your body to your brain. Your brain knows, and you're like, come on, we're not getting pulled over. We can relax.
But the adrenaline is still being spit out. We need it to shut down. We're done now. Eat some berries.
Yeah. So try that next time. Hopefully nothing ever really happened. Please, but it's one way you guys can use it in your hopefully not so daily life. Right? Cool. Should I go?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Ooh, Is this what we have going today?
No,
It was
I don't
me
think
this
so because
morning.
I
Okay,
didn't
okay.
create today's, but this just spoke to me and I was looking at it. So, let's see if we can read them.
Perfect,
Yeah.
Steph. You got it.
Cinnamon,
I
sandalwood,
think she just took up enough of the space.
frankincense. Like the lights
that's
reflecting
awesome,
into my
Steph.
hands.
Toss down just a little bit so Terry can see too. There'll be a
You can see
delay,
it
so
on
stay there.
Facebook.
Oh, down into your left. Oh, no, down just a little bit. Yeah, perfect.
All right. So this blend, I would imagine, is a very grounding blend. That frankincense and sandalwood, very earthy.
Yeah, you got it.
Bring
Earthy, grounding, yeah.
Cinnamon adds a little spice to maybe awaken the senses a little bit.
And seasonal too. I
Yeah.
mean, it feels like it should be
Yeah,
cinnamon now.
cinnamon, I feel like gives like a warmth.
Yeah,
When it's like cold and wet outside, moving seasons here, brain starts
Again,
realizing you're
Yeah,
going into
this
winter.
is how I pick blends. I open them all and I smell them all
in
together.
her magic grip. This is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you can? That's fantastic. You get them all.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
that's
that
nice.
is nice.
We need any other adjectives. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Thesaurus
this. Yeah.
Delicious.
It's very earthy, spicy.
Seasonal grounding.
Yeah.
That's good. That is really good.
Yeah.
A reminder, Steph does those magic blends we'll personalize for you. There's a quiz to go take so that she can understand what you are in need of. And for whatever reason, she's got the intuition. She is spot on, and not necessarily things that you would have chosen for yourself. That is the cool piece. May walked into the treatment room right when she came in this morning, like, oh, that is fantastic. She has Steph's blend on today. It just was
All over. All
you
over.
could just feel
Tell
it.
me everything. I did a whole clockwise.
Yeah, I don't know if I should mention this patient, but I have somebody, a friend of mine, who usually talks third person, so you'll know who you are. And she has a routine where she does lotion and essential oils in the morning. It's just part of her routine after her shower. And those smells stay on her towel. And so every time she's using her towel, and I started doing this, what it does is when I throw that towel into the laundry, the whole laundry smells fantastic.
Oh,
then.
yeah.
Yes, it is. It's just like, oh, this is delicious.
Smart.
Yeah. Okay. I almost knocked that and dropped it. This would not have been a good smell, and I got this on me.
That was like stinky feet.
Yep. This is, and it's got a little mother started in the bottom, so you should know what it is. It's ACV, apple cider vinegar. And this is my own brew, my own batch, and it's actually ready to go. We share this for free with you. Did you get that?
I know, I just salivated. Yeah, I just salivated.
That's like one of the small containers. Bring a container for us. Love recycling. Bring a container. We will fill it for you, dependent on the size. But we do have a few gallons of homemade apple cider vinegar in the kitchen. If you want or need mother, we have a really good mother for both kombucha and for apple cider vinegar in the kitchen, and we will share those with you too. You have to stop by. Cannot mail that. Cannot send that anywhere. But if you will come into the clinic, we will share that. It is so good for you.
I just am laughing. If you want or need a good mother.
Some people do. Yeah. We will share mother with you. Everybody needs mother love.
Yes.
Mama love is the best. It's instinctual.
Yeah, I love it.
I didn't realize I said that. So, yes, we will share that with you. I forgot.
I think that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Love all the comments. Just crazy comments today.
Yes.
Love the following. Love all of you.
Love all of you. Sending it your way. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Hey.